Okay guys, what we're looking at here is, or was, a rice mill. This thing, I used it for, how long, man? I can't remember how long. I figured I did about 200 bags. 200 big bags of rice with it before she started being a problem, and it got to the point that it was throwing away more rice than it was actually keeping. It got all messed up. It got worse and worse. And there's very little adjustments on this thing anywhere. You know, it's so basic, either it works or it don't. And no, it don't. And then the motor started acting up, and I was working on this thing for 2 days straight. And finally I just had enough. You know, not worth it. Not worth the headache. So, it's been sitting here now for 3 or 4 months in a few different places in the way. I was going to move it to the front of the workshop to work and to take it apart, but it weighs a bloody ton. All this part is cast iron, and it's heavy. Some weeds. So I'm going to take it apart, see what I can, recycle the rest. I think the frame will be able to use the frame for something, all the nuts and bolts, and we'll see what else. It's other than the motor, everything in it is pretty cheap. It's a little rusty now. Not seized. Oh, lots of bugs. This is the part that does the work. Right here, the rice comes in, it actually turns this way, which is confusing because it seems to be backwards. The rice goes this way down here, and this knocks it off. You got the screen, see that? That was the first problem. One of these got a hole in it, so that was a bad deal. I got that, I had a spare, so I changed that out. And it worked again for a while, and then it just started being a freaking nightmare. It was just ended up just being a job, you know. Get something to put the nuts and bolts in. Turkeys have been very, very talkative lately. They're fighting half the time. Maybe they're getting ready to finally lay some eggs. We've only gotten one turkey egg this week, but that's it. First one in a long time. This is different. This works like a grease nipple, but it's not a grease nipple. You just force your grease in there, and as this gets hot, the grease goes down and greases the bearing. I think grease nipple would be better. Just my opinion, but in the right place, this thing is probably still worth some money. I can't remember what I paid for it. 16,000 baht or something like that. It was a waste of money. That's for sure. But you know, you don't know. A good one, at home use rice mill, it's about 60,000. That's $2,000. That's a lot of rice to make that kind of money. What had me interested is I get all the rice bran and everything from it by milling it myself. But I'm gonna say it's not worth it. It ended up being a job, you know. If it was just for me and the wife, it wouldn't be a big deal. I'd do it when I had time, but Doing it for the in-laws, and they'd bring rice and expect it done in next, 2 hours later they're back looking for it because they want to eat some, He didn't tell me it was the rush. It's a lot easier, it's a lot better for me not to have to deal with it. That's for sure. This is really what does the work. It's cool. I don't know what I could ever use it for. It's got a hole in it. When I changed it, I just changed the one. The other one wasn't a big deal. Then it wasn't long after I got the big hole, I got the big problems. There's a hole. It'd be good to get rid of this thing now. It's just been in the way for way too long, I'm gonna cut these belts off and I'll show you why. And they've been like this for, I don't know from day one or not, but pretty new. I bought replacement belts because these are broken. Unlike everything, this is not a standard build. It's just a tiny bit longer than the standard size. It's been like that from forever. Garbage. So I couldn't put the new belts on unless I moved the motor, but the motor don't have any adjustments on it. It's just poorly built all the way around, There's the other one. It came with no instructions either, absolutely none. The only thing the guy did was explain to the wife you had to adjust this one. Yeah, just don't do freaking nothing. It's supposed to control the tension on the spring and how fast the rice comes out. But it really didn't make any difference. So every time there's a problem with this thing, the wife's out here playing with this and telling me this is what the problem is. Because that's the only thing the guy ever said he had to do. There's the spring. You can see, what a piece of junk that is. The spring is supposed to control this plate here, which it doesn't. Seems to be about 15 different size bolts in this thing. Never use the same wrench twice. This was painted after it was put together, so all the threads, everything is painted in. Never use the same wrench twice, that's for sure. Look at that. What size is that? Very basic, huh? Why it don't work. Look at that. This motor is really, really heavy, I know that. Now that it out. Look how stupid this is put together, you know? This is sitting on the bottom. So when you unscrew this bolt, the motor falls out. You know, these 4 bolts, instead of having it sit on the top, easy to put together. It is ridiculous how this thing is built. You know? And this is adjustable here. I guess that would be the adjustment on the motor. I didn't notice that. You can up and down the motor. That's the way. I could have actually changed the belts a lot easier. Like this motor should be on a swing arm so you can adjust it. But that's probably what that's for. But still, look how stupid that's put together, you know. That should be on the top, in my opinion. I just noticed this is a 3 horsepower motor. It's a big motor. Big and heavy. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe a helicopter, maybe. But it's electric, so that would be a challenge, wouldn't it? Electric helicopter. Could put solar panels, I guess. That might work. I think I'm going to leave the frame together. I don't know what I could ever use it for, but for now, I'm going to keep it and put it somewhere out of the way. It's sure not very heavy compared to the other pieces. And there's the scrap pile, plus my bucket of nuts and bolts. Good riddance, you piece of junk. Oh man. You don't know if you don't try. It probably paid for itself. Close anyway. But now I'm going to give it away and let it be turned into a Toyota. You might be looking at my new truck. You never know. Alright guys, well that's it. Demantalizing. If that's a word. Probably isn't. The old rice mill. Glad to see her go. Another job done. Alright guys, as always, thanks for watching. Not finished yet, not finished yet. You need to reorganize. You're not done till the tools are put back. I am missing one of these wrenches. And it could be anywhere. And probably not even in this country. I guess I'm missing a few pieces. Not bad. Not bad. Alright guys, well that's it. Done for good this time. As always. Thanks for watching.